Hello and a very warm welcome. F1 2020 drivers. I'm going to rank them from my favourite to my worst. Now, I don't hate anyone on the grid, but if I was to do this, I'm going to do it honestly. I did it with the F1 tracks. I'm going to do it for the 2020 F1 drivers. I don't hate any driver on the grid this year, but I have in the past. I didn't like Michael Schumacher. I didn't like Jenson Button. I certainly didn't like Pastor Maldonado. But we're going to run down the 2020 F1 grid. My favourite to my worst. Leave it in the comments. 20 drivers, your favourite to your worst. Number 1, Lewis Hamilton. Followed him since 2006. And he's my number 1. 6-time world champion, legend of the sport, all-time pole holder, will be the all-time wins. He's a legend, and I'm proud to have followed him since 2006. Number 2, Max. Now, when Hamilton retires, I will become a Dutch sheep, but not till Hamilton retires. He's sensational. If I'm supporting a driver, he's got to be aggressive and good at overtaking, as Hamilton, Montoya and Hakkinen is. And that is Max all over. Aggressive. Future world champion 100%. 3, Charles Leclerc. Another youngster. Max and Leclerc are going to fight for titles in the future when the likes of Kimi Raikkonen, Vettel and Hamilton retire. And the future of the sport is looking bright. Charles Leclerc is a great driver. One for the future. 4, Daniel Ricciardo. The smiling, the humour, the wit. You cannot love Daniel Ricciardo. He will be top 3 for most people, but he's 4th on my list. He's a wonderful racer, late on the brakes, best overtaker, funny off the track and on it. Brilliant. Number 5, George Russell. And George Russell should be in the Mercedes in my opinion. 100% he would do a better job than Valtteri Bottas. I like George Russell. He's from the UK. He's a very good driver. And for sure he should be replacing Bottas, in my opinion. Number 6, Esteban Ocon. Should have never been dropped in the first place. He's back on the grid this year. And let's see how well he can do against the Australian. I really like Ocon. I rate Ocon. I think it will be a lot closer than many people think. Number 7, the Meme Lord, or Lando Norris. I mean, humour, funny, absolutely, probably, he's just a breath of fresh air. The atmosphere in McLaren, since he's come into the team, has just been phenomenal. But he's a hard racer, and like every single driver, he wants to win. Number 8, Kimi Raikkonen. Now again, Daniel Ricciardo and Kimi Raikkonen will probably be in your top 3. He's number 8 on my list. Been round forever. Well, what seems like forever. He's still going at the ripe age of 40 plus. Is he 41 now? 40? Kimi. I mean, iconic moments. Just leave me alone. Ice cream. Pushing a cameraman on his ass. Winning Grand Prix from 17th on the grid. F1 world champion. So many iconic moments. It'd be a sad day when he eventually retires. Number 9, the criminally underrated Mexican Sergio Perez. This guy is not appreciated for the talent. 8 podiums in mid-teams. He's a very, very good driver. And as I said, he's underappreciated. Number 10, Carlos Sainz. Driver of the season last season. Came on leaps and bounds. Joined McLaren. Finished best of the rest. It was absolutely a sensational season. On the podium in Brazil from back of the grid. Sainz is fantastic. Number 11, Vettel. Now Vettel is a very, very funny guy. I never forget that time when that guy asked that 3-minute long question. 20 years ago, Niki Lauda told us, take monkey in cockpit. And then he literally did a 3-minute question and Vettel was like, can you repeat the question? Absolutely gold. 4-time champion, been struggling of late. It's a make or break season for the German. 12, Alexander Albon. got a full season with Red Bull this season. Be interesting to see what he can do against Max. 13, Antonio Giovinazzi. Now, it was really hard for me to arrange the midfield because, like I say, I don't hate any driver, but if I had to put them in order, I would say so. Hey up, there's a fight here on TV. Just watching the Brighton Crystal Palace game in the background. Giovinazzi, 13. Beautiful hair. It'd be interesting to see what he can do this season. Really finished strong last season. And up against Raikkonen, he's got his work cut out, of course, but Kevin Magnussen, number 14, he gives 200% on the track and always goes over the top, does the Dane, but he is number 14 on my list. Danny Kvyat, been kicked in the balls many times and dropped, he's 15. Pierre Gasly, dropped last year. I did a video saying he should be dropped. People agreed with me. It happened. It had to happen. But them two have both been dropped, but they're now at AlphaTauri. 17, Romain Grosjean. Lucky to keep his seat this year, in my opinion. Has been on the podium before. He's been in Formula 1 quite a long time, to be fair. 18, Valtteri James Bottas. And I had to put Bottas in my last three. For me, he is not world champion material. Will not be a world champion. He's not good enough. He's too nicey. He's not aggressive enough. If he doesn't become aggressive, he will not be a Formula 1 world champion. If he goes aggressive like Nico Rosberg did, he can achieve a world championship. For me, he's very, very lucky to keep that Mercedes seat. For me, he should have been dropped by now, but that's just my opinion. Doesn't push Hamilton for the title at all. 19, Lance Stroll. I'm pretty sure Lance Stroll will be in your bottom three. Not many people like this guy. He's only in Formula 1 because of his dad. And like I say, I don't hate Stroll. I mean, he's done some good performances, but with Racing Point so good in testing, now's the time to deliver for Lance Stroll. He has to deliver when the car's good. He always complains the car's crap. Well, this year it looks like it's going to be an absolute gem. And number 20 is Nicholas Latifi. Formula 2 driver, is now on the F1 grid for 2020. And it's probably a bit harsh me putting Latifi last, but we don't know much about him. This is his first season in 2020, so let's see what he does. There we have it. That is my 20 drivers put in order. We'll go through. Hamilton, Max, Leclerc, Ricciardo, Russell, Ocon, Norris, Kimi, Perez, Sainz, Vettel, Albon, Giovinazzi, Magnussen, Kvyat, Gasly, Romain Grosjean, Valtteri James Bottas, Stroll, Latifi. Leave it in the comments. I would love you to comment, but obviously you're going to have to type out 20 F1 drivers' names, but who's your favourite? Who's your worst? Do you hate anyone on the grid? I actually don't hate anyone on the grid, but be interesting to know your thoughts. Comment down below. We'll always reply. We rank the tracks. We rank the drivers. Probably we'll do one for the team principals, but yeah, good fun. So my favourite driver is Hamilton. Always will be. Always has been my favourite driver. 2006, still going strong to this day. F1 legend. Comment down below.